Okay, guys, welcome. Welcome to our presentation here on house hacking and ADUs, as well as other house hacking methods that you can do. So house hacking is basically having a property that has rentable space, somewhere that you live and as well as rent. So it's really a win-win because you're definitely providing probably more affordable housing with a more flexible lease. And it also, benefits yourself for going through, that pain and effort to create that. So shout out to Club 500. This is actually a presentation that I did for Club 500 earlier in the year, and just kind of reworked it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this thing. I can show you a little bit about what I'm doing and some other things that you could do, some other things that I see that could be a great benefit. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So ADUs, accessory dwelling units, as they're known as. So these are granny flats, back units, could be a garage conversion, but yeah, basically a separate living unit on the same plot of land. They can be attached, detached, and these were first started in 2016. So to help the housing crisis that we have in California, they loosened the building code and basically allowed, single family residences to accept these things. Okay. So now in 2020, things are exponentially better as far as the favorability of the laws that they created for these things. They are really, really trying to, push these things and really make them happen. So here's my current project. So you can see here's the main house. And here is the 700 square foot detached ADU. So essentially converting this property to a duplex. And so I still have, some usable backyard, as well as, front yard, all that good stuff. To be honest, I don't even really use this lawn anyway. So this is basically what it's going to look like. My lot is 6,500 square feet. So you definitely want a decently sized lot, to accept these. If you don't, as long as you, meet the setbacks and you're not, covering a certain percentage of the actual, plot itself, then you're usually good. Rules vary by city. You got to check with each one. They're all different. And but this is what, Santa Ana required. There is a little easement right here because there is a power line that runs through here. So there is going to be certain things that you want to double check and look for, especially if you're going to purchase a property to do an ADU. You definitely want to do some due diligence with the city and show them what you have going on. So here's kind of the general floor plan of what I'm doing. I'm doing a 2-bed, 1-bath. So you can see it's got a washer dryer right here. It's got a bath here, and it's got 2 beds on each side. And you've got a living room and a kitchen. Okay. So I've actually kind of clipped this out, this portion here. So that way it just kind of dies off right here, kind of opens up this space a little bit more. So I have changed this floor plan a little bit. It's a little bit too cramped. So I've kind of opened it up, but you kind of get the general idea. It's fully functional. You got everything you need. And yeah, for me, totally fine. So these are just kind of some photos. Shout out to Felix, my contractor, who's doing my ADU. These are some of his project photos from his Instagram page. You can see here's, I don't know what city this is in, but you can see he's, doing the framing, doing the sheathing, and here's the finished product. So this is a pretty good size ADU right here that they did. Pretty cool little project. And here's a little time lapse of one being built if you want to check that out. So here's some sample floor plans. You can see the one on the right looks very similar to what I just showed you. Actually, that's basically exactly how mine's going to end up. So couch right here. This door is on this side now. TV here, dining table here, this door here. Basically exactly the same thing. A couple minor changes. You don't have this kind of bar seating coming back, and it really opens up that whole floor plan quite a bit. So you could do these as 2-bed, 3-bed, 1-bed studios, whatever you want to do, whatever you can imagine, whatever you can fit. So yeah, Santa Ana required me to basically have it match the main house exactly. Even some of the, foam stucco shapes that are in there, like around the windows on a little ledger. So they made me match it, verbatim. So some pretty cool things that are happening for 2020 as far as ADUs. Basically now you essentially get expedited, permits, with the whole, 2020 laws. So they have to respond to these things within 60 days, which is awesome. So rather than paying for an expedited permit, you just get it automatically because you're an ADU and California wants you to build these things. Some cities were also tacking on impact fees, and I kind of just see that as essentially they're just getting more money. They're just recognizing it as another income source. So those have been done away with. So that hurdle is now gone. And kind of the bombshell for this year is the junior ADU. So now you can essentially have a triplex. You could convert the garage. Some cities allow you to do it as a part of the ADU addition that you're doing. So you could have a 2-bed, and the junior ADU could be a studio or a 1-bed, which is awesome. So, it just opens up a whole another world of possibilities now. It just keeps getting better for the ADU space. The maximum and minimum ADU size has been done away with. I think there's definitely some terms that apply there. Again, per city, it's always going to be, what your city allows. And you can usually just go right on their website and they have a checklist for your ADU projects. You no longer need to be an owner applicant for permitting. So even if you don't live at the property, you can still do an ADU, which is great. Solar is definitely going to be a thing for 2020. So some cities are doing it at 100% offset. So basically for, every little bit of electricity that you use, you need to offset it with solar. Again, there will be different rules per city. Shout out to Felix, my contractor. Again, here's his website, and he's got a breakdown of all these new ADU regulations. Okay, and here's some of the financing methods. So you could do cash out of pocket. Obviously, that's not ideal. You could do a HELOC, pull some equity out of your home. You could do a 203K loan. I don't know a ton about those, and they seem to have a little bit more hurdles than others. Short-term construction loan, kind of like a hard money loan, quasi hard money loan. And there's also Umpqua Bank. I know there's going to be more products like what they have in the coming years, but right now Umpqua is one of the only ones that has it. Essentially, you refinance your house with a 10-1 ARM, 5-1 ARM, or a 30-year fixed. You're going to, build the thing. They're going to loan off future value, which is the huge thing. So if your normal house appraises at 600, but with the ADU it appraises at 8, they're going to loan to 8. Okay. So anything, you could basically do this thing, no money out of pocket, with the, Umpqua refi, which is great. So, and you only need to leave 10% equity at the end of the day. After all is said and done with the ADU, on the plot of land, done in the ground, you only need 10% equity, which is really cool. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go through some other examples. That, basically is, a one way of house hacking if you do these ADUs, right? Another way is, multifamily. That's kind of been the more traditional way of doing it. Let me go here back to my history. Okay, so multifamily property. No, not this one. Here we go, this one. Okay, so this is Huntington Beach. This is a quadplex. Each unit is 2-bed, 1 bath. Okay, so you can see, it looks like we've got probably some units on the first floor as well as some units upstairs. You've got 4 garage spaces. The units have been, updated, nicely, nothing too high end, but it's, nice, neat look. And this is going for 1.4. Okay, so each unit is 2-bed, 1 bath. And you could also have, each person have a garage space as well. So I looked this up. I looked at the rent that they're getting. Yes, this is okay. So this is kind of the scenario that I ran. So let's say you're a big baller and you're going to put down, 10% on this thing. So 140 at a 30-year fix with a 3.5% interest rate. Your payment is going to be $8,028 all said and done, plus or minus, right? That's just kind of a rough estimate. Okay, so what they are generating on 3 units is about $5,500 roughly. Okay, $5,500. So after that income, this would be your remainder right here. So not too shabby for, somewhere that you live at, which you're probably paying a little bit more than what rent is, except you're paying yourself, right? You're not paying somebody else. That's going back to you, and you're going to get the tax write-off, okay? Not only are you going to get the tax write-off that you're creating for yourself on your unit, you're going to get it from the other 3, right? And again, you're probably providing more affordable housing than some of the bigger high-end complexes that are going up, right? So it's a win-win, okay? And so this is a more traditional method of a house hack, right? Or you could do this with an ADU, or you could do this with renting out bedrooms if you're more like the college level, or if you're, post-college. If you have some friends that, need, just a quick room to rent, that's another way you can do this, okay? So I'm going to do a little bit deeper video on the tax benefit of it because it's huge. It is absolutely huge. But this is just kind of a quick and dirty way to show you of what's possible out there, right? So rather than getting a house, have a big payment over your head that you're sole responsible for, okay, and you're the only person that is responsible for it, you can do this, right? Again, it's a win-win. And I think everyone should look into this for their first property. It's a huge power move. It's a huge leg up, and it's going to just put you on a whole different trajectory once you do it. So anyway, if you guys want to talk about this with me, go ahead and feel free to reach out. Go ahead and shoot me a message, and we can chat about it some more. All righty. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.